Okay, today I'm going to show how to replace the discs and rotor, the disc and the brake pads of a BMW e46 from 2001. It's the same till 2006, I think. I already checked up the car safety, and now I can start removing the caliper. The first step is to remove this one here. Just put your screwdriver between it and it will jump right off. After this, we need to remove these two bolts for where the brake pads are installed. There's one here and one down there. So just first remove the dust cap here. Okay, so I removed the dust caps, and now I can put an hexagonal or an Torx of 45. So we can choose hexagonal of 7mm or Torx 45. I breaking these loose, so now they should come off pretty easy. Okay, so now you can just pull it out on both sides, and now we can remove caliper where the brake pads are located. To remove it, just put your screwdriver between the brake discs and caliper and just push it, and it will come right off. You don't want to stretch it too much, so I use this cord to hang it because already this brake line is going to be stretched, and I can break, can come loose, or just there can be damage then. Okay, so now it's removed, and just gonna hang it here so it's safety in place. Okay, so now if you only need to do the brake pads, this is already far enough for you. Just they should come right off. But we going to replace the discs too, so we need to remove these two bolts, one here and one here. They can be very stuck, so I use a big breaker bar to loosen them, and it's a 16mm socket. Okay, so now the caliper is completely removed. Now we just need to loosen up this one here. It's a 5mm hexagonal. So when this is removed, it should come right off. Sometimes it's really rusted. So just don't be scared. Use a big hammer, smash it, and it will come loose. Like this. Okay, before installing the new one, we're just going to remove the rust a little bit. So just take a wire brush, will work fine, and it will be back clean. We also use a little bit brake clean just to make everything clean. And after this, we are also going to wire brush the caliper. Okay, this looks already a lot better. You can go do it again a little bit more, but I'm happy with the result. So now we can install the brake discs, the disc rotors, of course. So mine are from Bosch, and to see you have the right one, it shows you these ones are for the front of the car. So they should be perfect. Before mounting on, I'm just going to clean them too, also a little bit with brake clean, because there is a protective layer on it, and just all the oils need to be removed. Okay, so when you put the disc back on, we're going to again to mount on this bolt just to make sure the caliper stays right on, and it makes it a lot easier. Okay, so now we're going to put back on the caliper. Okay, I already put it on back this. We're going to tighten this bolt to 110 or 100 Newton meters. It's around 75-80 feet-pounds. Okay, to put back on our new brake pads, we're first going to compress the cylinder. So just leave the old brake pad into it, and I use a handy tool like this. Well, it will work fine. Just put it on like this and then compress it. You also have special tools, brake compressors, brake pads compressors, which work also good, but this one works the same. Okay, when you can't go any further, you will see it. It's stuck on, so now we can remove it, and the cylinder is completely compressed. Okay, so now we need to remove the old brake pad. Just pull it out like this, and we're going to clean it a little bit with a wire brush, a little bit brake clean on it. Just be careful, don't put brake clean on the rubber, because it's not good for rubber. Okay, so also for the brake pads, we have front ones and back ones. So again, Bosch brake pads and for the front. First we install the brake pads that sits in the cylinder. And, before installing, we're going to put some copper grease on it, because the brake pads always move front and back. So just put some copper grease on the contact points and also on the back of the brake pads to avoid squeaking noises. Just try to be careful and don't put any grease on the brake pads itself. So this one here, copper grease, will work fine. Okay, so when it's greased well up, we can put it back in the piston. It will just slide in and push it, and it will work fine. There's only one way to fit in it, so you can't really do this wrong. Now the other piston, the other brake pad comes also right on like this. So first I'm going to add some copper grease, and then we can install it on the disc. Okay, so the caliper is back installed. Now I'm going to put on back these two, but before installing I'm going to grease them a little bit with some copper grease. You can also use silicone grease. Silicone grease is a little bit better because it doesn't damage the plastics. Okay, so like I say, it's a little bit better to use silicone grease, because this copper grease is a little bit worse because of the rubbers can be damaged. So now we're gonna put the caliper back in place and bolt it back on. Okay, so I used Turks 45 for it. It should go in very easy. Other way you're doing it wrong, and you better try to fit it again. Just now gonna hand tight it very good. Okay, so for the last, so the caliper is back on completely. On this one is the right one, but on the left one there's also an brake pad sensor installed. So I'm going to show you now how to move these. Okay, so as you can see here is the brake pad sensor. It was installed in here, so you can just pull it out, and just going to follow it. Let's pull it out here and here, and then this just comes open right away, and then we can pull it out and replace it. Okay, so I have two brake pad sensors, one for the rear and one for the front. As you can see, this one isn't too long, so it's probably this one. Okay, so this goes back into just like this, and you just put it back on this one here, and slide the brake pad sensor in the back one here, and just until it snaps. Okay, so now brake pad sensor installed. We're basically done. Just putting over these two protectors. And also don't forget the dust caps to put back on in here. Okay, so this slides just right back on it. Just first put in the lower one and then the back one, and it will work fine. Okay, like this. So this is it. Good luck with it, and as you could see, it's a job you can do very easy without any problems. Good luck.